Can I ask you something personal? Is there something you've been wanting to build, a business, a brand, a service, something that is just fully yours? And every time you get close to starting, something in your head just says, who are you to do this? Like, who do you think you are trying to start a business? Or maybe it sounds like, I don't have enough experience, or I don't know enough people, or maybe, if you're anything like me, it sounds a little bit more specific. I am an immigrant. This was not built for someone like me. I do not belong in this space. I have heard that voice on repeat for a very long time. And then one summer, I decided to stop listening to it. Today, I'm going to tell you everything that happened after that decision. The good, the bad, the hard, expensive lessons, and the things I genuinely wish someone had sat me down and told me before I even got started. Because truthfully, ain't nobody did, and it cost me a lot. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am so glad that you're a part of the community and that you found this video. My name is Ellie and I create content for women who are building something for real, whether that is a business, a family, a new life in a new country, or all three at the same time. This video is part of my entrepreneurship content pillar, and it is the one I have wanted to make for a very long time because it is the most honest version of my business origin story that I have told on camera. If that is the kind of content that you are here for, then go on ahead and hit subscribe right now because this is what we do here. Let's get into it. Now, let me paint a picture for you. It is 2024. I have already migrated to the United States, not recently, but the newness of it still lives in my body. I am navigating systems that were not designed with me in mind. I am learning rules that everybody around me seems to have been born knowing what to do. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, I am adjusting, trying to catch up, trying to just belong. And I start to feel something stirring. It's boiling. It's an idea, a pull towards something of my own. And immediately, fear shows up. And it's not the productive kind of fear that sharpens you. It's the paralyzing kind. The kind that sounds like logic, but it is actually self-protection dressed up in a suit. You have a finance degree and corporate experience, might I add. Just go get a job. Entrepreneurship is for people with connections, with capital, with a family business to inherit. You are still finding your footing in this country. This is not the time. Nobody is going to take you seriously. You do not have the network or the net worth, and you do not have a name. And the cruelest one I've told myself is the one I think a lot of immigrant women carry, and nobody talks about it enough. This space was not built for someone like you. Like, let's sit in that for a second. Let's sit right here for just a second, because that whole notion is the truth. You're looking for authenticity. That, my friend, is it. There are all self-sabotaging words that you do not need plaguing in your mind when you're about to start something for the first time. There is a very specific kind of fear that comes with being a first generation immigrant entrepreneur, just a first anything, might I add. It is not just the fear of failure that every entrepreneur carries. It is layered on top of something else. A feeling that you are already an outsider, that you are already working harder than everyone else just to be in the room, and the adding of the risk of being an entrepreneur on top of all of that is borderline reckless. Can you imagine? Nobody in my family had done this. Not a single person I could call on and say, walk me through this part. No blueprint, no inherited business, and no safety net. And that part, my dear friend, is the kicker. You ain't got nothing to fall back on. So it's gonna be a different hunger, a different driving power. Like, this gotta work out for real, for real. All I really had was just a stirring and a voice in my head that I had to declare whether to listen to it or to override it. And I'm sitting right here in my office, desk, computer, equipment, and all, to tell you I chose to override it. But let's be honest, I was terrified out of my mind, for real. If you're new here, you need to go to the first video where I talk about my origin story and my best friend and that phone call in 2024 that started this whole business. We were just talking the way that we do, chopping it up. And somewhere, y'all, in that conversation, she just asked me a question I wasn't ready for. Question is, what do I have to lose? And I'm posing that same question to you right here through this camera. What do you have to lose? And honey, I had to sit with that. I was sat at that point because my first instinct was to list everything that I had to lose for real at that time. The energy, the money. I did not want to waste my time, my energy, or money I ain't got on something that might not work. The embarrassment, if I were to fail publicly, like we being for real, ain't it? The confirmation that maybe I had been right to doubt myself all along. You don't want to give into that negative feeling. Like, should I really be doing this? Damn straight you need to be doing this. When I actually sat with it, when I stripped away the noise and just answered the question honestly, like flat on its face for what it is, the list began to get shorter than I expected. All right, what did I actually have to lose? Less than I thought? And what did I have to gain? Everything. So I started. Not because I was ready, not because I had every single detail figured out. Let's just be clear on that. I was not ready, not in the slightest bit. But I do not think readiness is actually the real destination. Hey, listen. I think readiness is a feeling that you chase to make yourself feel comfortable. I started because the cost of not starting had finally become greater than the cost of trying. So I went on ahead and set up my LLC. I positioned my services, operations, and project management, which I had spent years building in corporate Jamaica. And then I started putting myself in front of founders, agencies, nonprofits who needed what I had. And I began building piece by piece with no map and a whole lot of prayer. Praise the Lord Jesus, that is not a joke. You have to steward well. Now, here's a part of the video that's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, but I have to be honest with you about it because I am going to tell you to start, and then I am going to tell you the full picture of what starting actually looked like for me. Yeah? The first thing, the tax bill, nobody warned me about. Now, my first year of business, I made a mistake that I'm still paying for today. I've said that on repeat. I did not account for that 15% self-employment tax. In a traditional job, your employer handles a portion of your tax contribution. When you are self-employed, however, when you are the business, you are responsible for all of it. And if nobody explains that to you, if you spend your first year trying to get clients and make money without building in tax planning, you're gonna arrive at filing season with a number on the screen that will make you physically ill. Jeez, I'm being honest, you know. That was me. It was not just the self-employment tax either. It was also not knowing which set of business expenses I could actually write off. The equipment, the software, the tools, the home office. There was money I spent on this business that I should have been able to deduct, and I did not because I did not know to do those things. I was not properly informed on those matters concerning taxation with the IRS as a self-employed professional. I also did not hire the right professional. I did not do enough research. I assumed that because your girl got a finance degree that I understood enough of how taxation is handled in these United States. I was very wrong. And I want to tell you right now, a finance degree and the specific intricate tax situation of a freelancer / content creator in the US are two very different bodies of knowledge. So hire an accountant who specializes in self-employed individuals and content creators before the end of your first year, not after you get the tax bill, before, okay? That lesson cost me significantly. So I'm sharing it with you so that it does not have to cost you the same. Did y'all just see my computer? Okay, next up. You cannot build a business and not build systems around it. One of the things I learned very quickly was that showing up and doing the work is only half the job. The other half The half that nobody really glamorizes and talks about for real is the infrastructure. The contracts, the invoices, the client onboarding, the scheduling, the follow-up system, the way you track your tasks and your time and your deliverables. When you are a solo operator, when you is a one-man band, is what I'm trying to say to you, you are the whole team from start to finish. Every crack in your systems show up as a client experience problem, a missed deadline, a miscommunication, a boundary that was never clearly set from the onset because you never had a contract to set it. I had to build all of that from scratch, all of it from scratch, and it took some time I was also spending to find clients and deliver work and manage everything else that comes with being a wife and a mother and a human being trying to navigate in a new country. Which brings me to something I definitely want to share with you. When I was in those early months of building, trying to figure out the contracts, the tools, how to onboard a client, how to invoice professionally, how to show up like a legitimate business when everything still felt so new and uncertain, I genuinely wish someone had handed me a starting point. Not a course, not a 20-hour program, just a resource that said, here are the tools, here's the foundation, start right here. And that is exactly why I created the Freelancer Starter Kit. It is everything I wish I had in my hands from day one. The tools, the framework, the starting point that lets you focus on doing the actual work instead of spending months trying to crack it, trying to figure out the infrastructure around it. And so if you are at the beginning of your freelance journey, or you have been freelancing for a while, but honestly, your back end is a total mess, and you know it, you gotta admit it to yourself, the starter kit was made with you in mind. The link is in the description below. Go check it out and then come right back here because we still have more to cover. All right, I wanna be honest about something because I don't really think it gets said enough when we scroll through entrepreneurial content. There are days, and I mean regular, recurring days, when I look at my finances, my bank account, and the effort that I put in for real into all of the systems, in all of the equipment that I've invested in, that I have bought and spent hours pouring into this, and sometimes feel like quitting for real, not dramatically, not in a crisis, just quietly. That low feeling of, is this actually working? Am I just running on hope? Is the return ever gonna match the investment? And the truth is, every single time I feel that, every single time I keep coming back to that same thought, that same mindset, that same feeling that just keeps lingering. I did not start this business because it was easy. I started it because it was the alternative. Going back to something that was safe but small, something that did not ask me to become more than I already was, that was no longer something I was willing to choose. And as I keep telling y'all, I am building without a safety net. There is no rich investor. There is no family funding. There is no sugar anything. I ain't got no sugar daddy. Or no sugar mama. I don't know which side you on. But the point is clear. I ain't got no sugar nothing. All I have is just a firm belief in God, my belief in what I'm building, and the very stubborn conviction that when you build from scratch, it is supposed to be hard. And hard is not the same as wrong. I also think about my son. Yeah, I think about my kid. I never want him to look at me and associate giving up with who his mother is. Are you crazy? That would just crush me very deeply than I can even express to y'all on camera. I want him to see in real time what it looks like to pursue something that matters, even when the results are taking their own sweet time to catch up with the effort. And that is my why. That is the thing that overrides every bad finance day. So I want to encourage you to find yours because you will need it. You will need to remember your why on the low days, on the bad days, on the days when the money looking funny. You need to remember your why because that is what is going to propel you, to reignite that momentum within you, to keep pushing you forward so that you don't give up, friend. So here is what I want to leave with you today. We wrapping up. So in my closing, If you are an immigrant or a first generation anything who has been sitting on an idea and you've been talking yourself out of it because you feel like, okay, the space was not built for you, or this is not the right time for you to pursue a venture like this, or you're not seeing the startup capital to inject into what you want to create. Listen here, listen here, listen here. I have something I want to say directly to you. You are very right. Let's validate your feelings up front. You are right. Nobody has handed you a blueprint. You are also right that the playing field is not leveled, and it ain't never gonna be leveled. Okay, we just gotta call a spade a spade. And the truth is, there are some people that start this journey with advantages that you do not have. Now, friend, none of that, absolutely none of it, means you cannot build something extraordinary. It means it's going to require more faith, more strategy, and more of asking the right questions, the pertinent questions before the bill comes in the mail. More of building systems before you actually need it. You need to be proactive as an entrepreneur. You need to make decisions quickly and correctly. And in order to do that, you have to have precise and accurate information to make informed decisions. You need more of choosing to stay on the days when staying is the hardest option you have. But listen here, it is possible. I am proof that's in progress, still proof nonetheless, and I'm going to keep showing up here and showing you every part of that. Now, if you are ready to start your freelance foundation properly by skipping the mistakes I made in year 1, then definitely grab the Freelancer Starter Kit. The link is in the description. It is the starting point I wish I had. So, before you go, drop me a comment below and tell me. I want to hear from you. I'm gonna meet you in the comment section because I want you to tell me, what is the one thing that has been stopping you from starting? What is stopping you from starting? Or if you have already started, what is the lesson you wish someone had told you first? Now, I read every comment, every single one, and I really want to know where you are in your journey. So go on ahead, give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe if you have not already. Bye for now. I'll see you in the next one.